Now, I think the problem with astrologers is that they're unable to change with the times, to advance their knowledge. When it comes to astrology, they're still basing things that are during the AD times. Some astrologers would not, like Vedic astrologers, would not consider the influence of Uranus and Neptune. They'll ignore Pluto, like what science is doing now. And they can't advance. They can't go beyond what they know. Some still believe that Jupiter rules both Pisces and Sagittarius. But as we discover new planets, our understanding of astrology becomes even more in depth. And the same can be said about Charon and Gaia. Some astrologers have debated with me that Gaia, which is the Earth, does not govern the sign of Taurus, and Chiron does not govern the sign of Virgo. Even though, I can't say evidence, but even though the correspondence are evident. For example, during the sign of Taurus, we celebrate Mother's Day. Now, Mother's Day is actually an older holiday than Father's Day, because Father's Day is under the sign of Cancer, which I guess could make sense too, because Cancer is very, well, patriotic. That's when the United States was born. The 4th of July is under the sign of Cancer. Just as April Fool's is under the sign of Aries, Mother's Day is in the sign of Taurus, Halloween is under the sign of Scorpio, Thanksgiving is under the sign of Sagittarius, Christmas is under the sign of Capricorn, and Valentine's Day, basically, if you look up your history, Valentine's Day was actually like a day for prostitutes. Was under the sign of Pisces. Now, I'm not saying that all Pisces are prostitutes, but let's face it, they are very good at committing adultery. Now, the thing about some astrologers is that they refuse to accept the new changes and discoveries brought on by science, by astronomy. So it looks like that astronomy is in the lead, when before it wasn't, especially after the discovery of Uranus. I don't know if I made videos or I wrote about this. I'm sure I have, saying that during the sign of Uranus, yes, it's pronounced Uranus, not your anus, that when the discovery of Uranus, people were thinking, they were being critical, they were being analytical. They took what they believe and they scrutinized it. And the same applies with astrology. Now, you have to understand, astrology is the mother of all philosophy, religion, science, and art. It is the driving force behind those four wisdoms, I should say. To deny astrology is to deny the part of our history, of what makes us human. And astrology goes beyond just your natal chart, your birth chart. It can also apply to animals. It could also apply to plants. The time of purchase, from as little as a hot dog to a house. You know, it applies to those as well. You know, you can actually do comparison charts, or some would say relationship chart. I'd stick to the phrase comparison charts. Just and as for like situations with like Pluto being denied as a planet and classified as a dwarf planet, does not disqualify it as a planet. In fact, I don't even like the word planet, because planet means wandering star. Now, these planets, so-called planets, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Chiron, and Earth, these are not planets. They're not wandering. They have a set course. Even though as erratic as they are, like Pluto, they have a set course. So they're not wandering. They know where they're going. So I guess we also need to redefine the word planet. If we are to redefine planet and discard Pluto, then we need to redefine the word planet. You know, the word planet is this wandering star. I think the best way to call them, and this is my opinion, but to me, I'd like to call them deities, gods and goddesses, and that also includes the so-called planetary satellites like the moons. To understand the nature, the behavior of these planets, these gods, is to understand who you are. Okay? And this is true not just only in a celestial point of view, but also in the mundane point of view. Like, for example, if you want to know what I don't know, throw me a bone here. If you want to know what it is and how actors think, then you would befriend someone or follow in their footsteps, read their biography, get involved with them, try to understand them, and that's by understanding them, you understand your part as well. And this is how it works with astrology. Now, most critics of astrologers would say that how does astrology work? How does the planets influence us? Well, that's a no-brainer. You could look at the moon and see how it influences us. You could look at the sun and see how it influences us. You can look at the time of the earth in a certain position affects whoever's living at that area of the earth. So why not the other gods and goddesses? Why not Mercury and Venus and Pluto, you know, those far out gods? Why not about them? Why not? Now, here's a good test to investigate this phenomenon, is to have your best friend on one side of you and your worst enemy in front of you staring at you. How do you feel about that? Now, imagine your friend in front of you staring at your enemy. How do you feel about that? The same applies with the gods and goddesses. Now, I know this is like celestial feng shui, but it's true. Feng shui is also, it bears some truth to it too. You just have to investigate. You have to learn more about it. So that's my piece about advancing astrology in the modern times. You know, I'm sure I'm gonna find a shorter title to it once I get this uploaded. Thank you for watching my videos, and I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.